Hello and welcome to our yoga class. Okay, tonight or today, depending on when you're watching this, we are focusing on some fabulous seated twists, no standing postures today at all. And these seated twists are also great abdominal strengtheners, abdominal toners, as they say. So I would like to invite you to lie down on your backs. If you have a belt nearby. It could be any sort of belt, dressing gown belt, stretchy belt, any kind of belt. And if you don't have a belt, don't worry about it. Lying down on your back. Tuning into your own self. Tuning into your body. Becoming aware of any discord in your body. And discord can feel like tension. It can feel like a knot. It can feel like a headache, of course. It can feel like numbness, like part of the body has shut down. And it can feel like all kinds of different things, of course. Tuning in, but in a very accepting, kind way. Noticing also what feels good in your body at this moment in time. Noticing any discord, noticing also what feels flowing, what feels free, what feels good in your body. Knowing that we can always choose to access an inner freedom, no matter what is happening externally. We can always choose to access an inner freedom. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean for each of us? See if you can feel your way into that statement. Maybe feel your reactions, your responses. How do we access an inner freedom regardless of what's happening around us outside of our own situation? And let yourself begin to breathe deeply into an imagination or a feeling of inner freedom. It might make sense to you and it might not, and in a way it doesn't matter whether it makes sense to you or not. Breathing into the playfulness of imagining or experiencing an inner freedom. That might feel simply right here and now in this yoga session, that might feel as if the body itself is freeing up, inwardly getting ready to flow inwardly getting ready to explore, to stretch, to strengthen, to feel good, even gooder than it might feel already. Allow your inhale to be deep and flowing. Allow your exhale to be free and releasing. Breathing in or out through the nose or mouth. Either way. And finishing your deep breathing on your next exhale. Letting your breath recover. Your breath will naturally come back to its own rhythm. You don't need to make it happen or plan it, it just happens, fortunately. If your legs are stretched out on your mat, bend your knees now and bring your feet to the floor. And let's come into our first posture. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Gently drawing the leg in just for a moment, and then extend the leg upwards, pressing up through the heel, letting both hips stay solid on your mat. You're welcome to have a bend in your knee, your right knee. And let's release the leg. Maybe rock out the hips a little. And then bending the left leg, drawing it in towards the chest, just for a moment. Releasing the leg upwards, extending up towards the ceiling. Pressing up through the heel. Just to begin to wake up the legs. Or rather, and exhale and release. Maybe the legs are already awake, but it's more like we're connecting into them, really. And then if you have a belt, take hold of your belt and wrap the belt around the ball of your right foot. Hold the belt in either hand with your upper arms resting on your mat. This is so that your shoulders will, doing this can encourage the shoulders to relax. You're welcome to have a bend in the knee if that works for you better. No need to have the legs straight. If you're feeling the lengthening in the back of the leg, that's fine. Pressing up through the heel and pressing up through the base of your big toe. So we're activating also the inner leg muscles through that, activating, pressing into the big toe. Relax the shoulders. That feels so good. The next time you exhale, release the leg. Actually, you can change the legs, change the belt onto the other foot in midair, a little bit easier. Wrapping the belt around the ball of your foot, try not to put it around the arch. There's something about leaving the arch open and free that feels important. Releasing the left hip, pressing up through the base of your big toe, extending through the heel, relaxing the shoulders. And breathing, focusing on the breath. Relax the shoulders some more. And the next time you exhale, release the leg and release the belt. Take your arms wide on the floor at shoulder height. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Rock the knees towards one side and the other. One side and the other. Nice and easy. Now extend the legs up, both legs, and take the legs, a tiny distance over towards one side, not far. Your opposite hip will lift, that's fine. And take the legs over to the other side, not far. And maybe go a little bit further. Be very sensitive because this can pull at your lower back or at the side of the body if the side of the body doesn't feel warmed up enough. Go a little bit further each time as far as you feel comfortable with. Breathing into center as the legs come to center. Exhaling as the legs come over to each side. Keep the feet together and the knees together as best you can. Keep the legs high towards the head. And then come back to center. Release the legs. And maybe stretch the legs out. A little bit of direct core strengthening. Bend the knees. Let's bring the legs up towards the ceiling again, as we did just now. Take the legs about this far away from the rest of the body, not too far. Press your lower back into your mat. Press, really press. And then exhale as you relax the legs. Out the lower back a little bit. And breathe in, extend the legs up. Lower the legs a little bit further, not too far. If you feel your lower back rising like this, that means the core isn't quite strong enough to be supporting the lower back. And you need to draw back a little bit. It does no good to be straining the lower back. So pushing your lower back into the mat. Feeling how the belly muscles really engage here. Let's hold this just for another breath or two. Whew, one breath is enough. Exhale, release the legs. Rock the legs from side to side. And let's come up to a seated position. If you wish to sit on a brick, no, not a brick, I always say that. If you want to sit on a block or a cushion or a blanket, feel free to do that. It can be more comfortable to have your hips a little bit raised. Sitting with the knees bent, hands behind the knees. Let's breathe in and let the spine lift. Lift the chest. Knees together. And as you exhale, keep the chest lifted, round your lower back a little. And release the shoulders down. As you stay with this posture, this is a version of Navasana, boat pose. As you stay with this posture, make sure there's no strain in the lower back. If we sit particularly tall, That puts a lot of pressure on the lower back. That's why you want to round it a little bit, but without rounding the upper back. Chest lifted, lower back rounded, knees and feet together. You can maybe release the arms if you like, extend the arms in front of you. This doesn't want to be an extraordinarily difficult posture, but you are working your core, you're working the lower back, and you're working your legs. Let's find a little bit of equilibrium for the last couple of breaths here. Releasing the shoulders, softening the eyes, the gaze. And on your next exhale, release the legs, shake it all out. And sitting with legs crossed, if that's comfortable for you. If for some reason legs crossed doesn't work for you, have the knees wide and the feet together. Parivrtta Sukhasana, easy revolved pose, revolved easy pose, I think it's called. And it looks simply like this. Big breath in, exhale, turning to one side. Big breath in, exhale, turning to the other side. Okay? If you haven't started yet, let's start together. Releasing the shoulders, big breath in, facing forward. Exhale, turning in one direction, take the hand to the opposite knee to help draw you to the side. Breathe in. And exhale over to the other side. Breathing in, big breath. It's almost like on your exhale, you're deflating. On the inhale, you're inflating. And finishing on the second side. And then relaxing, releasing. So Ardha Matsyendrasana. I forget what the English is. Oh no, I can't remember, something. Well, it doesn't matter. Let me just show you first. So there are possibilities. If you wish, the least complicated version is to have, I'll just show you all the possibilities first, and then we'll go through the possibilities together. This is the first variation. Second variation is to take the foot over across the knee. Not everybody feels comfortable doing that. That's okay. Third variation is having the hand on the knee as we come into the twist. Fourth variation is to take the elbow across. Fifth variation that I've only learned this week, believe it or not, is to take hold of the ankle, or the foot, which is very difficult. And then the back arm comes around behind you to twist as far along the waist as you can reach. It's a funny one on the elbow. Okay, so extend your legs out straight. I think I'll show you this way. Bend your left knee. Bend your left knee so that the knee is pointing forward and your heel is just next to your right or in front of your right hip. Okay, left knee facing forward. Take your right foot either on the floor to the right of your left knee, or if you can reach that leg across, take your right foot over to the left of your left leg, okay? Either one is good. Bring your left hand onto the knee, the raised knee. If that feels like you could take it further without crunching and scrunching the body up, you can breathe in Lift the left elbow and take it over to the outside of the right knee. Sage. Oh, that's what this is called. Sage twist. If you want to stay here, you can spread the fingers and let your palm be open. That's where you're going to receive some energy through the palm. Your right fingertips are on the floor behind you. If you want to take it the next step, you can try and take the upper arm across the right leg and take hold of the right foot, bringing your left arm behind you. Whichever variation you're in, breathe in as you face forward, and exhale as you twist to the right. Try and relax the shoulders. Draw the belly in on your exhale. As you inhale, lift the chest as best you can and the spine. Exhaling, drawing the belly in. Inhaling, lifting the chest and the spine. The next time you breathe in, return to facing forward, releasing the arms, the hands, releasing the legs, and check out. Coming into the posture with the right knee bent, left foot on the floor, either to the left or to the right. Let's breathe in and begin by simply taking the hand onto the left knee to give us a kind of a foundation in this posture. Lifting the spine, both sitting bones on your mat. You might need to adjust a little bit. Sitting tall, and then if you want, breathing in, taking the elbow to the outside of your leg, is that left leg, reaching around to take hold of the left ankle. Left arm goes around the waist, breathing in, lifting the chest, exhaling, turning to the left, drawing the belly in. And breathing in, releasing the arms and the legs. This is a good posture for working into the organs, helping the organs to have healthy functioning, mainly because we're squashing them. I think that does them good. Okay. Bharadvajasana is our next posture. Let me show you what it looks like. This is a great one for releasing tension in the neck, the shoulders, the upper back. I'm going to reach around, taking hold of the upper arm, leaning forward, and if it's accessible for you, tucking the fingers under. It's a nice finger stretch as well. Breathing in, exhaling. Breathing in, lifting the chest and the spine, exhaling, drawing the belly in, and you may find you can come into the twist a little deeper on your exhale. Okay, if you can't reach around behind to take hold of the arm, just reaching around behind you, like so. So to start with this posture, take your left leg, shift your hips over to the right, so both feet are on your left side. Have your left ankle on top of the arch of your right foot, if that's comfortable. If that's uncomfortable for the top of the left ankle, you could take your belt, for example, and just put it underneath the ankle if it feels like it's being a bit too being stretched a bit too much. You could also tuck your socks underneath the ankle just to make the angle less strong there. Now what? Reach your right arm behind you. Make sure you're comfortable. Your left hip will be lifted, left sitting bone will be lifted. Reach around, take hold of your upper arm just above the elbow, the left arm. You might want to adjust, reach and pull until you really feel like you have a grip of that arm. Now, the next step is to lean forward. See if you can tuck your left fingers underneath your right thigh. And to do that, you probably have to release your hold a little bit on the upper arm. Or maybe you have to release your hold completely. It's fine. Either way, breathe in. And as you exhale, draw the belly in, turn towards your right. Breathing in, lifting the chest and the spine. Exhaling, drawing the belly in. Breathing in, lifting the chest and the spine. Exhaling, drawing the belly in. Next time you inhale, bring yourself back to center. Release the legs. Notice where you feel that on your body. Coming to the other side, legs over to the right side of your body. Top ankle on top of the lower arch, if the arch of the lower foot, if that feels comfortable. And if not, just make it work however it does for you. Take your left arm behind you. Grab hold of the right arm. I use the arm to pull the left arm behind me and over to the right a little bit more. Breathing in. And as you exhale, leaning forward, seeing if you can tuck the right fingers underneath the left thigh just a little without losing the grip on the right arm. And if you need to let go of the right arm, that's no problem. Breathing in. Exhaling, drawing the belly in, beginning your twisting journey. Breathing in, lifting the chest and spine. Exhaling, drawing the belly in. Next time you breathe in, come back to center. And release. Let's sit for a moment with the knees wide and the feet together, rocking from side to side. If you need to stretch into a little side bend to release out any tightness in the side of the back. I notice that there's a lot of work happening there in a different way than we experience in many postures. So it might be you just need a little bit of releasing out, rounding the back, whatever you need to do. And maybe while you're doing that, still, I'll show you the next couple of postures. They're very similar. One we've been working on recently is this one. And the second one, both sides, of course, you can keep your back hand on the floor if you like. You can keep your front knee bent if you like. And the second one, which is similar, it's related, looks like this. Crossing the wrists, we'll start with the knees bent and looking underneath the arm. That one's so cool, I like that one. Okay. Extending the legs out in front of you. Bend the left knee. Take hold of the outside of your left foot with your right hand and make sure there's a very good, strong contact, good grip of the hand on the foot. And you notice when you do that, it makes your back round. It just does, doesn't it? So let's lift the spine, radiating from the sitting bones right up through the crown of the head. Draw your right toes back towards the right leg so we get both legs actively working. Keep that, what is it? It's the fire. Keep that fire in the spine, in the torso, from sitting bones right up through crown of the head. That's the most important part. If you want, you can release your back arm behind you. Spread the fingers. Big breath in, exhale, twist to look behind you. Make sure your left leg isn't crossing over your right leg like I've just unintentionally demonstrated. Keep the left leg in line with the left hip. Strong, intentional, fully engaged posture. There's no part of your body that's not active in this posture. The next time you breathe in, come back to center and feel how that makes your whole body connected. And if you don't feel that, that doesn't mean it's not happening. Left hand to outside of right foot, give it a good grip. Lifting the spine, creating spaciousness all around your torso. Breathing in. Making sure the right leg stays in line with the right hip. Draw the left toes back towards the knee. Sitting tall again, reinforcing your length, the fire in the spine. Big breath in. Keeping your right fingers down on the floor, or as you twist, taking your right arm behind you and looking behind you, trying to keep the right leg from crossing over the left. A couple of big, intentional, completely engaged breaths. And the next time you inhale, come back to center, release, and have a little momentary rest. Bending the knees. Breathing in, lifting the arms up. This helps to lift the sides of the body. Cross your left wrist over your right. As you exhale, come forward, taking hold of the outside of both feet. Breathing in, lifting your left elbow and peering underneath your left arm, as if you're peeking out at a child. Peekaboo. Breathe in, come back to center, release. Keep the knees bent. Breathe in, lift the arms up, opening the sides of the body, cross the right wrist over the left, reach forward, take hold of the outside of the feet with the wrists crossed. Breathe in, exhale, lift the right elbow and look underneath the right arm. Feel that on the side body. Breathe in, come back to center. Straighten the legs a little. Stage 2, keep the knees a little bit bent. You'll feel this, it gets harder as we go along. Breathe in, lift the arms, and of course you can decide how much you want to bend the elbows and not. Knees, not elbows, knees. Breathe in, cross the left wrist over the right. Exhale, coming forward, taking hold of the outside of the feet. Wrists crossed. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, lifting the left elbow. Keep the knees together. Look under the left arm. Harder, isn't it? Keep those knees together. They might not know about yours. Mine desperately want to move away from each other because it would be easier. Breathing in, come back to center. Lift the arms. Right wrist over left. Exhale, coming forward. Breathing in, lifting the chest. Exhaling, lifting the right elbow, looking underneath the right arm. Next time you inhale, come back to center. We'll do this one more time. You choose how little or how much you want your knees to bend. You have complete control over how strong you want to make this third time. Breathe in, take the arms up. Left over right, exhale, take hold of the outside of the feet. Breathe in, look underneath your left arm, lifting the left elbow up towards the ceiling, knees together. Breathe in. Come back. Last time, lifting the arms up. Right over left. Exhale. Take hold of the feet. Breathe in. Right arm lifts. Knees together. Next time you breathe in. Come back up. And relax for a moment. Shaking out as you need to. Very strong on the side of the body, isn't it? These twists. This one is called, what's it called? Seated gate pose. Virabhadrasana. And let me demonstrate it for you. This is a lovely one. We're going to turn over the bent leg with the hand on the knee. Breathe in, lift up, opening the body, exhaling, folding over the extended leg. And it might be easier than you think. I like this posture because there's such an opening and flowing. It's like you have to kind of trust that the leg is there for your fingers to reach. If your fingers don't reach the toes, also it doesn't matter. So bending your left knee, tucking the sole of the foot right into the top of your right hip, and have your right leg extended in front of you so the legs are at 90 degrees to each other. Take your right hand onto the outside or the top of the right knee. I suppose the outside makes it a little bit further to have to reach, so the top of your right knee if you prefer. And we're going to now take a big breath in, lifting the left arm, reaching up, expanding, opening, drawing your right toes back towards the knee, and slowly releasing the left hand down. Maybe taking hold of the toes, maybe the toes are too far away, coming as far as you're comfortable with. Top elbow reaches up towards the ceiling. If you want, if it feels okay for you, turn the head to look up towards the ceiling. Twisting and turning the abdomen at the same time. Look down towards your mat. Breathe in and bring yourself back up to center. And just check. Lower back feels okay. Side body feels okay. That's strong, isn't it? Strong, but it's pretty cool, isn't it? Let's change sides. Bending the right knee, right angles of the legs, drawing the left toes back towards the left knee. Breathing in, left hand to right knee, or just on outside the knee, on the thigh. And now this is the lovely part. Breathing in, opening as you lift the right arm, expanding, exhaling, sinking forward. Maybe the fingers reaching the toes, maybe not. Looking underneath the arm up towards the ceiling or to the side. Feeling that lovely stretch in the side of the body. The abdominals are working, especially the side abdominals, obliques. Look towards the floor, breathe in, bring yourself back up. Take a moment just to rest the body in whatever seated position is comfortable for you. We have one more of these twist postures, and then it will be definitely time to do a bit of releasing of all these mid-section muscles that have been working tonight. So let me show you the next one. I'll show you this way. This on. You would most likely need a belt. And I'm going to show you this way. I'll tell you what to do with the belt in a moment. I'm going to demonstrate it first. I'm laughing because this is a hard one. This is very hard to do without a belt. We're going to reach forward, reach around behind us. Oh no, hang on, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, oh, I know. Oh, it's even harder. We're going to reach the other way. So it's really tricky. I rarely teach this one because I find it awkward at best. Anyways, we're going to reach around the funny way like that, bend the elbow in the most peculiar way. I'm not selling this posture very much, am I? Reaching around to take hold of take a hold of the belt. Let me show you this way on. There we are. Breathing in, lifting the chest, exhaling, drawing the belly in, then coming into the twist. You won't hold that for long, it's quite strong. If you want to make it easier, just hold the belt further away, or just do it without the belt. Doing it without the belt, we just reach around. Sorry, let me just show you that. Do it without the belt, we just reach around, keeping one hand on the floor. Okay, so let me talk you through it. If you're going to use the belt, start with your right knee bent, the foot on the floor, just next to your left hip, and have your belt draped over your left thigh, curling around behind you. Lean back, pull your right knee over to the left because, believe it or not, your left elbow is going to come to the outside of your right knee, as if we were doing sage twist, as a matter of fact. But instead of doing sage twist, we want to try and reach the outer arm around the left knee to take a hold of the belt, which is on your left thigh, right? Feels most unnatural. This is called Marichiasana 3, one of these twists. Take hold of the belt with your right hand, and you want to pull the belt closer towards each other so that to bring your hands closer. See if you can breathe in, lengthen the spine without falling over, and exhale, turn to look behind you. Or your left hand right hand can stay on the floor the whole time, and you can simply reach around, maybe taking hold of your right ankle with your left hand, and that's just as good. One more breath in, whichever variation you're doing. Oh, exhale, release. Whew, shake out. I wonder if you'll feel it in your hips tomorrow. Hips, lower back region. Bend your left knee. Shift the belt onto your right thigh. And curl the belt around behind you to your left side. Lean the left leg over out of the way so you can reach round, leaning back, right? Lean back so that you can reach around the left leg with the outside of your right arm, upper arm. Baby, reaching it around behind you, taking hold of the fingers. You can do this side, I can't do the other side. Or taking the belt, both hands, breathe in, sit tall. Exhale, twist. Whoa, breathe in, sit tall, exhale, twist. The next time you breathe in, come forward. Release the belt. Let's come into tabletop posture. Our center of our body needs a little bit of TLC. Tabletop posture. Feet on your mat, hands on the floor behind you, fingers pointing to the body. Lift the hips. You don't need to lift too high. You can lift high if you wish, pressing into the base of your index, base of your big toes. Oh, if it feels good, you can release the neck. If that doesn't feel good for the neck, you can choose where you want your head to be that feels most amenable for your neck. Big breath in, exhale, release. Come down to lying. Maybe putting on your socks and any layers, and we'll finish with a twist. We'll come into pranayama and then into savasana. Ooh, so the first thing you might want to do is release around the hips, lower back, the sides of the waist. A good stretch might feel like just the thing. Having just a little rest before we come into our final posture, which, funnily enough, is another twist. We did this one at the very beginning. Let me just demonstrate it for you. While you're getting settled, Jathara Parivartanasana. We did this at the beginning, arms extended, palms face up, keeping the legs towards the head. This time we come all the way over to the side. I should say by now we're pretty warmed up. Turning the head in the opposite direction, legs extended, or if you prefer, always have your knees bent. Either. The advantage or the reason for having the legs straight is it works the belly muscles. So whenever you're ready, arms wide, shoulder height, lifting the legs. Maybe you're keeping the knees bent. You've had enough hard work for tonight. And when you exhale, either with knees bent or legs straight, keep the knees as close to the chest as you can, either way. Take the legs to the side. Maybe you put a brick or a block or a blanket or a cushion underneath the legs and you can relax. If your legs are extended, you're not so relaxed. Try and reach the feet, the toes into the fingers. Breathe in. And as you exhale, turn the head in the opposite direction of the legs. The next time you inhale, look to center. If your legs are straight, you might want to bend your knees to come back safely without pulling any muscles. Or if you feel confident, you can bring the legs straight back to center. Knees can be bent either way. Come over to the other side, keeping the legs high towards the body. Maybe the toes come into the fingers of the left hand, looking towards the right, relaxing shoulders, jaw, legs, arms, eyes. Breathing in, bringing the legs back to center one way or another, bending the knees. And extending the legs. Before we come into Savasana, we'll finish with the basic pranayama breathing. And tonight, and you're welcome to lie down, you're welcome to come to sitting. Knees bent, legs straight, whatever's comfortable for you. We're simply going to do the complete breath. If you imagine your breath is made up of 3 parts, your inhale and exhale. The first part is the lower belly. You're going to breathe right down into your lower belly. You're going to imagine that. Second part is the lower ribs. Third part, the upper chest. To start with, allow your breath to come and go, becoming more conscious of your breathing. Not needing to breathe in a certain way, not minding if you notice you become self-conscious about your breath, simply through your focus, okay? Just connecting with the breath. And allowing the shoulders and the hips, the belly, the lower back to all soften a little bit more. The next time you exhale, exhale as fully as you can, so that when you breathe in, imagine you're breathing in first into your lower belly, then into your lower ribs, and then into your upper chest, right up into your collarbones. And when you exhale, either exhale from the top down or exhale from the belly up, doesn't matter, whatever feels more natural to you. Let your inhale be through the nose, and your exhale can be either through the nose or through the mouth. Allow your whole breath to be as relaxed as possible. This is really, particularly at this point in the yoga session, this is really about releasing. You might be aware of the body continuing to soften, the hips, the lower back, the shoulders, the face, the jaw, the arms and hands, the legs and feet. After your next full round, after your next exhale, let your breath come back to normal. And then we come into Savasana, into relaxation, which is also, in which also a visualization and meditation is embedded. Making sure you're warm at this stage in particular, very important. Very comfortable. Adjusting if you need to, making some last minute movements that will help you release a bit more. One thing that could help, especially for the lower back and belly, is tucking the tailbone under, lengthening out the lower back, releasing the tailbone, releasing the legs. Encouraging your whole body to sink down into your mat as if you're sinking down into the most comfortable surface imaginable. Particularly with each exhale, softening the body. You could imagine with each inhale, you're expanding your body in the softest, most elastic, flowing kind of way. Not expanding with effort, expanding through opening and releasing. Connecting with coming into an inner freedom. In your mind's eye, take yourself to one of your most favorite relaxing places in the whole world. Where do you feel the most safe, the most relaxed, most comfortable? Of course, it can be anywhere, inside or out. Maybe it's your own safe bed at home. Maybe it's on a warm beach. Maybe it's on a mountaintop. Maybe it's in the middle of the ocean. Imagine what you're doing. Are you lying, sitting, standing, walking? What are you wearing? Or not? What is the landscape like around you? Maybe see that, see the landscape around you. What can you hear? Are you on your own? Or are you with someone? Or others? And who? Only the people you most want to be with at the moment, if anyone. What's the temperature around you? Is your skin being heated by the sun? Or perhaps you're wearing the warmest possible winter coat. So that doesn't sound very relaxing, but whatever works for you. Could be very cozy in an incredibly warm winter coat in the snow. Maybe. Having any other details that make this imagination so real and vivid for you. Now let your focus on this scenario melt away. Be aware of any feeling you're left with, any sensation, any experience. Be aware of what's left, even though the physical image has now disappeared. Know that you can access this feeling at any time. We've used an image of a beautiful scenario, relaxing scenario, to evoke this, whatever you're experiencing, warmth, this peacefulness, this bliss, this joy, this openness, this relaxation. These This inner freedom exists within us. Enjoying it, reveling in it. And if you found that you couldn't connect to that feeling of relaxation, that's also okay. Another time you will. And maybe it takes a bit of practice to come into the vividness of the experience. Just for the last minute or two, letting your body soften even more, coming into this place of not needing to be doing anything at all except resting the body, letting your mind go where it wants to, as long as you feel okay with that. Breathing in deeply, allowing that deeper breath to filter through, flow through to your whole body. Letting go with each exhale. Letting your deeper breath be like a pre-movement, waking the body. And then beginning to bring movement back into your body. Nice and easy. Not startling the body in any way. Might feel good to have another stretch. You might want to turn the head from side to side. There's quite a lot of work on the neck tonight, so just give the neck a little bit of TLC, the shoulders. And when you're ready, bending your knees. Keeping the feet on the floor, rocking the legs side to side, or drawing the knees in towards the body, rocking the legs side to side. And then letting the legs come over to one side. Resting here for a moment, make sure your neck is comfortable. Drawing in a big breath. And as you exhale, bring yourself back to a seated position. Thank you very much for joining me for this session, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.